Well, here we are again, and you're probably not surprised at all that the Giants have somehow turned what looked like a bit of a runaway in the NFC East into something of a tight race with their loss in Washington. And now they've got a seemingly must-win game this Sunday against the very dangerous New Orleans Saints, who aren't really in the playoff chase, but they have rallied after an 0-4 start, and they've got Drew Brees in that offense. You know they can score points. How can the Giants win this game? Well, as usual, I'll give you 3 keys for that. The number 1 key, well, it's all in Eli Manning's hands. They got to get that passing attack going, stop the penalties that killed them down in Washington, and score a lot of points. The one thing I did notice against the Redskins, when things were going well for the Giants relatively, and I mean without having any penalties to short-circuit drives, they were trying for a lot of deep throws. They need to connect on those. They didn't connect on enough of them against the Redskins because the Saints can score quickly. The Giants need to be a very quick strike, big play offensive attack.
It should be a great game. They're good offensively, score a lot of points. Their defense creates some turnovers, so we got to make sure offense we're doing our job. We're getting first downs, we're controlling the clock, and making sure we're scoring points and getting touchdowns and not having to settle for field goals.
I feel like our offense is in we're in a good spot. I think early on in the Redskins game is where we needed to put some points up and move the ball fairly well, which we did, and I think we just need to continue that. I think we just need to knock out some of the kinks that we had, and I think we continue to be that same offense we saw in the first half.
The second thing the Giants need to do, get some pressure on Drew Brees. They didn't come near Robert Griffin III, especially the second half of that game against the Redskins. Now, part of that is because of the offense that the Redskins run and because Griffin is so elusive. Brees is much more of a stand-in-the-pocket type of quarterback. He's a sitting duck for the Giants' defense, which is exactly the way they like it. So they need to get that pass rush going. They were really good at getting Aaron Rodgers and disrupting the Packers' offense. They need to do that with the Saints, because if Brees can stand in there, boy, he's going to have a field day picking apart the Giants' secondary. They pick apart every secondary they play. They score almost 30 points a game.
An outstanding offensive team, very skilled. The quarterback, the front, the running backs, the wide receiver, the tight end. They've got a multitude of talented people on the offensive side of the ball, 6th in the league. 31 touchdown passes.
And the number 3 thing the Giants need to do is something they did so well against the Washington Redskins early on, and that's run the football. I know everybody thinks that they ran it a little too much late in the game, and that's a fair criticism. But early on, it was working. Ahmad Bradshaw was really, really moving the chains for them. They got David Wilson a little involved. I'd like to see him get even more involved. But as long as Bradshaw can rush for 100 yards, they keep that offense moving. It's going to keep the Saints' defense, which is aggressive. It's bad, 32nd in the league, but it's aggressive under former Giants defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo. That'll give Eli Manning a lot more time to get that offense in gear.
You see an aggressive defense that wants the pressure. They want to get their safeties down involved and get them to pressure the quarterback. They'll show 2 from one side and then bring them from the other. So you see a defense that's aggressive, that wants to get after the quarterback and apply pressure.
And if they do, well, the Giants win will put them in really good position to win the NFC East. A loss, though, and this thing could be tied heading into the final 3 weeks of the season. So it's a big game. Make sure you come back to the blue screen on Sunday for all the information on how the Giants did against the New Orleans Saints.